Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're going to be having our final review of Will to Power by Arch Enemy. Alright, so I'm going to give the floor to you. I want to see what you think of this album. After listening to it for 1 week, what do you think of Will to Power?
Well, as usual, listen to this album non-stop all week. Listen to it in the car, at work, at home, while I'm doing everything non-stop. And I gotta say that this album grew on me very fast. It's way better than I initially thought it was. If you guys watched our first impressions, we kind of didn't have the best first impressions. We had there was a lot of hope, a lot of potential, but it just didn't hit with a great first impression for me anyway, and I'm pretty sure for you as well.
Yeah.
But in our first impressions video, we talked about First Day in Hell as being the best song on the album, and I still think that's one of the top songs on the album, but I have a new favorite. But there's all these other songs among listening to the album for the whole week that started popping out at me as like, holy crap, this is a great song. The Race, the second song on the album. But basically, you call the first song, since the real first song is just an intro, basically.
Yeah.
But The Race, what a great song that is. It's fast, it's heavy, it's crazy, it's high octane, energy, insane, intense song, good solo. I'm like, wow, how did I not really dig this the first time? Then right after that, you got Blood in the Water. Whoa! One of my favorite parts on the entire album is on this song, and it's such a dumb little thing. He laughs at me because he knows what I'm talking about. But it's right at the end of the song. When Alyssa's saying, she's singing the words "blood in the water," and then the guitar, I guess, harmonizes with it and goes, I fucking love that. I think that's so cool that they use the guitar to harmonize the vocals. And I know that's not anything new, that's not anything original or unique, but the way they executed it, just one time, throws it in there. I just love the way it sounds. My favorite part of that song, one of my favorite parts of the whole album. Really cool stuff. Then you got My Shadow and I, really cool song. Alyssa sounds great. She's got her cool voice in that song. A couple of lines she says, something like wipe that smile off your face or something like that. And the way she says it just sounds so gritty. Fucking love it. But my favorite song on the album now is Dreaming of Retribution. How do you not catch that song off the beginning and go and not get blown away? It's such a great song. And I do not know how I overlooked it the first time. Maybe in the first listening session, I just wasn't paying too much attention. I should have been, obviously, but that's the song with the guitar solo trading. It's got one of the coolest lyrics in the whole album, which you know what that is.
Plotting my revenge is the only thing keeping me alive.
That's a cool line. So, the song's got awesome grooves. The main riff of the song is probably the best on the whole album. Great friggin' song. Now, one thing we talked about on the first impression, is that we felt that there's too many slow parts at the beginning of songs. It was like a lot of slow, drawn out things, and then it builds up to the heavy stuff. After listening to this album more and more and more, I find that is actually a good thing, because you take an album like the one we recently did, the Decapitated album, for example.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that album was even called.
Anti-Cult,
yes. So that album basically starts off, goes to this level, and it goes at that level, then it drops off at the end. Good, not bad, that's cool, but it stays at one level. With this album, you got this. You got a wave. You got crazy high octane, fast thrashy metal, and then you got a break. Then it goes back up, then it goes back down, then it goes back up, and it's so consistently done throughout the album that I think it was a very well produced album. The songs might be in a little bit of a confusing order, and songs like Saturnine probably still are useless, but I don't mind the fact that songs had those intros and outros. I felt like it broke up the pace enough to the point where it didn't feel drawn out or anything like that. So overall, I really, really like the album. I think my least favorite song is the one Reason to Believe, which is the one with the clean vocals on it. Not a bad song. I still like the song, but it's just my least favorite, probably because of the tempo of the song is a little slower. It's just obviously a little mellower song, but
it kind of feels like it drags on a little bit.
But I'm gonna hand it over to you, and let's hear your thoughts on the album after listening to it so freaking much.
So I'll say this right now. This album is a perfect example of why we have our first impressions and save our review for a week later. Because if we reviewed this album when we did our first impressions, I feel that it would have been completely different from how we would both rate it today. Because this album, after we first listened to it, I'm like, it's kind of okay, generic, there's something that pissed me off, whatever. I was being a crusty man. But after listening to it the whole week, this album's actually solid. Like, holy shit. Just like you, there were songs that started to just pop out at me. Just boom, like, oh, that's actually good. Oh, one that grew on me so much, believe it or not, was The Eagle Flies Alone. That song is fucking sick. Mm-hmm. And there isn't really too much going on in it. It's a straightforward beat. There's not like too many overly intricate like solos or anything crazy about it.
It's just a well-written song though.
It's a well-written song. It sounds great. I'll say this, Alyssa's vocals are fantastic. I ragged about the lyrics last week a lot, and I feel it was a little bit unfair because I've never really done that for any other album. The lyrics are still really iffy. There's a lot of just generic kind of, be strong and fight and get better and be good, fairly generic stuff. As we already mentioned, the best lyric was on Dreams of Retribution.
Yeah.
But the way that Alyssa sings these lyrics makes them sound really fucking cool.
She sounds amazing on this album.
So it kind of was the trade-off there. It's like these lyrics kind of suck, but they sound cool when she screams it.
Yeah.
So it works. It fits. It's totally cool.
Yep.
In regards to the calm stuff that you were talking about, all the breaks.
Yep.
As you already said, I feel the same where there's kind of an order issue, and Saturnine is probably something that really has not changed for me in opinion. I feel like that song should not exist. I remember seeing an interview with Archman and me. They did a track-by-track explanation of all the songs. Yep. And when they got to Saturnine, Alyssa said, okay, this song is like an outro to First Day in Hell. And I'm thinking, well, why wasn't it part of First Day in Hell? First of all. Second of all, how come it doesn't sound like anything related to First Day in Hell? Because if you look at the song like the last song, which is, what's the name?
I can't remember.
Oh, the name. A Fight I Must Win, that's what it was. If you look at A Fight I Must Win, it starts slow with all the string section, and it fades out with the string section again, and then the ending of that song is the string section. It's
like bookends.
Sounds amazing, by the way. It's a bookend, exactly. With First Day in Hell, it does start off calm and stuff, but that's with the guitar. The Saturnine's just you couldn't. If I didn't know that they were supposed to be connected, I would have never guessed at all, because it's why is this here?
It seems just so pointless.
You have First Day in Hell that starts calm, there's the song, and then Saturnine, which is calm, and then Dreams of Retribution, which starts calm. It's kind of a really unusual distribution, and the whole thing would be avoided if Saturnine just wasn't there.
Yeah, but whatever. It's there. So
it is what it is. Like I said, that's still my gripe with it, but still, all the songs are still just more energetic. I listen to this album, and it makes me want to go run 3 kilometers. Just go outside and just start running. You
should do that.
I feel it gives me so much energy, man. This album.
Before you do that, though, let's get a rating on it. What do you give it?
All right. I felt this was a really difficult album to rate. Yeah. I was thinking about this all week. Okay, it's at this level. Oh, but I kind of like that song. Oh, but I kind of like this. And throughout the week, it was getting better and better. So I'm trying to think, okay, what do I really give this album? And I think it's fair that I give this album a 7. Because I don't feel that this album is really toe tag material. Because there's still, I feel as a band, Arch Enemy can make something that's a toe tag album. I feel they are all so talented that they can do it. But I think it was, what is his name, Mike Arnett or Matt Arnett? Amit. Okay. Yeah. One of the guitar players, from what I was reading, he did a lot of the writing for this album. I felt if more of the members of this band had more creative control, they could produce a serious toe tag album because they are all so talented. But there's still great songs. You guys should definitely check this album out. It's solid. 7, solid. This, so much about this album that I do like, but it does not get a toe tag from me. So, what is your rating for this album?
Well, like you, I had a difficult time rating the album. A lot of stuff going through my head, a lot of factors going through my head. And one of the factors that went through my head is that I'm not reviewing the album for me. I'm reviewing the album for you guys, for viewers, for people that are on YouTube looking up opinions and trying to gauge whether or not an album might be worth getting or whatever, right?
Yeah.
We're just getting opinions generally, whatever. So I'm not reviewing it for myself. I'm reviewing it for metalheads in general. And I'm a metalhead, have been for many, many, many years. I think as a metalhead, and if I try to put myself in the shoes of just like a general metalhead that doesn't really like any specific band or specific subgenre, I feel like this is an album that is really, really top tier. I feel like it hits all the marks. It sounds great. It's produced well. There's a few downfalls. You know, there's a track here and there that, you know, are either unnecessary or maybe not that great. The lyrics are pretty poor, like we mentioned. But the ultimate thing I was thinking of is, am I going to want to listen to this album 6 months down the road or a year down the road when I'm scrolling through my playlist or looking through my iPod and looking for something to listen to? Is this album going to stand out at me, and am I going to want to listen to it, and am I going to still enjoy it at that time? And I ultimately think the answer is yes to that. So for that reason, I think this album barely scrapes by, and I would give it my toe tag. So I find it a little disappointing that you gave it a 7, which is fine. You're entitled. But I do give it my toe tag. I feel like that this album is... I agree with what you said, that this band has a lot of room to grow. So like a toe tag for us is an 8 to a 10. This is like bottom of the barrel 8 for me. Barely scraping by, but I give it a toe tag. If the band got more creative control with the other members, they can easily make a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 album. I agree with you there. But it is what it is. It only gets one toe tag. You know, 1 from me, a 7 from him. Still not bad. Still worth checking out. You know, these guys, if you gave this album one listen and didn't like it, you didn't give it much of a chance. It's not
give
fair.
it more of a chance.
You give it more of a chance and really soak it in. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, you know, there's not too much else to say. Like I said, definitely check this album out. If you don't like it on your first listen, keep trying, because clearly it worked for us.
Yeah.
It definitely worked for you guys too. 7 from me, a toe tag from him. That's all there is to say. So guys, remember to like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Tell me what you thought of this album compared to War Eternal.
Yeah.
Because this is only the second album with Alyssa on vocals, so...
I'll mention real quick that I like this album better than War Eternal, but we've got several comments of people saying the opposite, and you liked War Eternal better too,
Yeah,
right?
I did check out War Eternal. I kind of liked it a little bit more musically,
Yeah.
but
I like this one better.
they're still close though.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all there is.
I'm Vile Self.
I'm TV Fish.
Later.